Sometime in the 2020s, two geeks from across social media formed an alliance to bring you geek news from across the Nostalgiaverse. They are Jacob's Toys and SuperSorrell. So strap yourselves in for the weekly live show that brings you toy news, TV and movie reviews, special guests, opinions, tangents, and bad impressions. Reveals, releases, thoughts, and maybe dreams. So prepare yourselves for the Geek Week in Review. Live.
Oh, hello. Welcome back to the Geek Week with me, of course, Jacob's Toys, and of course, the wonderful one and only SuperSorrell. I got to just announce there's an error in the listing. I've just seen it. For some reason, text says episode 138, and it's not. It's 139, episode 139 of the Geek Week. 139 weeks, and that's the first time we've made that error. So it's not bad going. See people in the chat already. We'll just give a couple of shout outs. We've got Andy Roberts in the chat. We've got Jenko T in the chat as well. We've got Bethany Beth in the chat. We've got Shelly in the chat. We've got Andy H in the chat. You guys keep it going. If there's anyone I've missed, hello. And if you're watching us on Catch Up, like a lot of you are, Sorrel, what's the magic words?
Catch Up Crew.
Catch Up Crew. Hashtag Catch Up Crew. But we're not alone this week, are we? We are not alone. We have another amazing guest to join us for the camaraderie. Is that the right word? I don't know.
Yeah, camaraderie. Yeah.
Camaraderie, that's it. Camaraderie. It's one of them. It's one of them. I'm not even drunk because I don't even drink. It's just one of those days. Andy H said, well, ruined, Jacob. So I do apologize. Right. Do you want to introduce who our guest is?
Yeah. So tonight we're going to be joined by UK pop collector, aka Paul. He's been a follower of mine for some time, and I've been a follower of his. He's got an awesome collection, as you can see behind him there.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
Amazing. Welcome to the show, Paul.
Thank you.
No. My internet's playing up a little bit, so you guys are a little bit lagged for me. I might be a bit lagged for you.
Yeah, you started lagging about a second ago. But no, we've got Paul with us this evening, and like I say, I've been chatting with Paul for a long time now, I think. And it's not just pops you collect. I know you call the UK pop collector, but you've got an extensive collection.
Yeah, I toyed with the idea of doing a bit of a name change a couple of years back because it's UK pop collector, because that was my kind of my gateway drug into collecting. But no, I'm up to about 1,700 items, from pops to figures to statues to you name it. If it's pop culture and I love it, then I'll generally collect it.
I will never forget the day that you sent me a room tour video to include in one of my SuperSorrell Sundays back in the day, and your like room is like 3 times the size of mine and Jacob's put together. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I'll say I'm on Cave version 3, so it started off in as a wall in the office, and then as it started to grow, it kind of expanded out into another room in a new house. And then we've been fortunate enough to literally build a collection room in the current house that I'm in now. So yeah, very lucky.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That's literally I've got my little collection room here, and we're about to move house as well. And in the plans is my new collection room. So I'm
nice.
Like, my wife, do what you want with the house. I don't care. But my new collection room is what I'm very excited about. But your name works because UK pop collector, and it's pop culture, so it works. It's fine.
Yeah.
It works. So predominantly your Instagram, right?
Yeah. Probably 95% Instagram. I've dabbled in a little bit of TikTok. I keep getting asked to do YouTube. I think the problem that I've got with YouTube is me probably being on camera a little bit more. I like to be very much behind the camera than in front of it. It's not my natural domain. But I may dabble into a few forays of a few tours here and there. So, but yeah, mainly Instagram.
Go for it. Cool. And that's just at UK Pop Collector, yeah?
That's correct.
Good stuff. So anyone in the chat don't follow Paul already, go check him out at UK Pop Collector.
Thank you.
So where are we going this week? There's lots to talk about. I feel like there's lots to talk about this week.
But did you get any pickups this week?
I did. I got a couple.
What
Got
did
a
you get?
couple. Well, a couple of weeks ago, we had Toy Scavenger on, didn't we? And we got in an
We did.
extensive Jurassic Park talk, and it just made me realise that my Jurassic Park collection is just severely lacking. And so I was fortunate enough. So I already had the Amber Collection Charlie. That was literally my only Jurassic Park kind of figure in my collection. Apart from like my kids got like my kids have got loads of the standard ones. But anyway, so then I got the Tiger Stripe from Lost World. Like that one a lot. And then I had to get the original kind of classic kind of one. I also got. I couldn't have the Raptor.
Yeah.
On the Muldoon. Had to have that. And then after talking to Toy Scavenger, it made me realize how much I love the original Kenner toys.
Yep.
I did manage to get these two sent to me, which is quite cool. So they're gonna go in my Jurassic Park collection as well. And I believe I've got Ellie and Tim in the post as well. So then it's only Dennis Nedry, I think, and then that's the original 5.
The original, 5.
So yeah, so one more to get, and then that's
You've got Ellie as well, haven't you? You got Ellie, did you say?
Ellie and Tim are in the post, I believe.
Ellie and Tim are in the post. Yeah.
Yeah. Mick said, "Isn't that Delta?" It might be. Is that Delta? I don't know.
Might be.
I don't know which one's which. I know it's not blue. That's all I know. It was just a Velociraptor. I was like, to be honest with you, I only got it originally for toy photography. So I was like, I need an articulated raptor for toy photography. Excuse me. And then I realized that actually I wanted to get a couple more.
Do you find it's crazy how sometimes someone will mention something, or you'll watch a film, or you'll see something, or you'll see something on social media, and it just lights that spark in you of I've got to go for it, and I've got to complete the whole line, and now I'm going to get something else, and it's just something that maybe you love deep down. It's just something reignites a passion.
Oh, 100%. And the thing is that my the Amber collection came out, and it was like a 6-inch fully articulated Jurassic Park line, and they'd done all of the movies, they'd done new ones, the old ones, and it looked really cool. And then they kind of ended it and went on to the Hammond collection and all that kind of stuff. So like Sorrell pointed out, I think it was like last week or the week before, and said that because it's like there's only a certain amount within the collection, it's kind of reignited that spark again. But yeah, I mean, Toy Scavenger was throwing up all the old retro ones, and I was like, you know what, those toys as a kid, they were probably towards the tail end of me kind of having toys as a kid, because I was probably in my early teens when Jurassic Park came out, and so I was still young enough to get toys as a kid, but not too old, like, you know what I mean. So that I think they were the kind of tail end of toys that were bought for me as toys. So I was like, yeah, I need to get the whole thing. Jenko T, hashtag not Dennis Nedry. It isn't Dennis Nedry, is it?
No, it looks nothing like him
at all. Like, it wasn't it on the show with Toy Scavenger that you only found out that it was Dennis Nedry and you thought it was Ian Malcolm?
I thought it was Ian Malcolm all these years. I thought it was an Ian Malcolm figure. How is that Dennis Nedry? That is not Dennis Nedry, is it?
But even still, I mean, like the Amber collection isn't. I mean, they're not bad. But even the difference there, like, look at the like.
Mate, do you know what? Do you know what as well? I need to send you some photos, because there are some G.I. Joe figures that go really well with Robert Muldoon, and you can kind of get like a Lost World kind of vibes from them.
Okay, send me some pictures.
I know hunters. Yeah, because there's like, you know, those ones that there's some of the G.I. Joe collection that are a bit 80s and out there kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's those ones. Yeah, the look. Some of them look really good, like with him.
But no, like Paul said, I kind of like Jurassic Park was a big thing for me. So I'm like, you know what, I want to kind of, since kind of moving away from Legends a bit more and kind of going into the Hot Toys and everything like that, I've expanded my collection out, and I'm collecting a lot more of things that I liked as a kid. So I've got my He-Man, I've got my Turtles, I've got my Power Rangers, and Jurassic Park just fits in there. So yeah.
Yeah, I had that spark recently when I went to For the Love of Horror con, and just came back from there just with this drive to almost just completely rejig my room. I kind of squared away a couple of sides of my room and created more space. And now I'm in the process of getting more masks and horror figures. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Mine was the same actually. I've got a few. You can see I've got a couple up there. I've got about 6 or 7 masks, but then I've got loads of props. But like you with a shield, I haven't got anywhere to hang my shield in here, so mine's just kind of on the floor. You can actually just see it. It's just like on the floor, like in Iron Man 2 or whatever it was, where it's just on the side. It's not even like fully displayed. But yeah, I love it. I love it. I love just kind of that spark. And
we've not managed to get Jacob on the horror toys yet, but I'm hoping with him coming up north to do a couple of horror cons this year, I'm hoping I can twist his arm on some of those old school, especially like Scream and Hellraiser. Come on, you know you're going to want a little Scream collection going on.
You know what? It's a really dangerous door to open.
Slippery slope. It is a slippery slope.
I've got so much love for so many horror films, but I don't have any in my collection. And there was a company recently that just released a 1/6 scale Ghostface figure, and it wasn't like an official Scream. I can't remember what it was called, but it came with the Scary Movie mask as well.
Yeah, saw that one.
I was so tempted, but I also
none of them are official Scream because they can't make figures of Scream. They have to make figures of Ghostface, and it's like got a space in it. You can't put Ghostface together; it's got to always be separated. And the guy that owns the rights to it is like really protective over the IP as well. He's raking in. But yeah, it's not official Scream. So like when they have to call it the glow in the dark mask, it's not the stab mask, but it's basically stab. Like from the movie.
The point of no return that I'm really scared of, I think it's either this year or a little bit later next year, early next year, like 2025, is that Hot Toys David figure from Lost Boys.
Well, the one thing you want to be scared about is because, a little while ago I said to you, how cool would it be if NECA got the license with Universal Monsters to make modern monsters?
Oh, man.
That is coming now. And do you know what they've announced first?
What?
Imhotep from the Mummy, from the 1999 Mummy.
Oh, really?
They've announced Van Helsing's version of Frankenstein, Dracula, and Van Helsing. And we're going to be getting Dracula from the Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder movie.
Nice.
Those are pipeline things that they released on a press release this week. It's like a pipeline reveal from NECA. And they were like, these are the Universal Monsters that are coming out in the future under the Universal Monsters line. And it's like, that is amazing. I've been wanting those figures for years.
Really
I think the Universal Monsters have been one of my highlights for the last probably 12 months. The drip feed of some of the classics that have come out.
Mm-hmm.
And then in parallel, you've got the Turtles Universal Monster mashups as well, which has been really cool.
Yeah, they're really cool. I just wish that the Creature of the Black Lagoon and Wolfman would drop now because of that. I've seen all the Americans opening theirs, and I'm like, I want them in hand now.
Yeah, some of the Turtle mashups are actually doing really well. Like the He-Man mashup Turtles are doing really well, and like you say, the Universal Monsters. And I think it's because, like, as a line back in the day, it was full of kind of random mashups, wasn't it? And it was full of kind of random character choices and stuff like that. And I think that just kind of taps into nostalgia as well.
But the NECA as well re-signed recently their deal with Blumhouse. So as they continue The Conjuring and things like that. So I'm hoping that deal, they got like that new, I forgot the name of it, that new Totally Killer movie with the yellow, with the blonde wig and stuff. Yeah. I'm hoping, because obviously they've just done the Thanksgiving movie figure. I'm hoping they move on to like the Totally Killer and then maybe Insidious, because we've never had anything from Insidious from NECA.
I'm surprised the Purge have not had a figure line.
Exactly, that's another one. Like, I'm really surprised they've never done Purge figures.
So many figures you could do for the Purge, but whether people will buy them and collect them, I don't know. I mean,
I think that's ultimately it. It's the profitability of them, isn't it? So as much as we might like them, that fandom is probably quite a small. Small thing.
Yeah. Jenko T said he'd love a Rick O'Connell from the Mummy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I could get behind that. that.
Just imagine that toy line if they made just a Mummy line, because they could do. You've got like the guy who played the Medjai. You could have Benny. Benny would be. Everyone would want a Benny. Come on.
Of course they would.
There's even the dodgy Americans. You could have like the thing where he pulls his tongue out like the alternate head with no tongue and eyes and shit. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. That would be I just like, for me, Indiana Jones was a good one. Like, and I was really hyped about the Indiana Jones toy line from Hasbro, like really, really excited about it. But then as they started to release it, I realized that the idea of it was a lot more attractive than the actual reality of it. Because as you know, I collected all the Indiana Jones and I got Henry Jones Sr. and I got Short Round. But apart from that, I wasn't bothered about all the random bad guys and you know, there's maybe a couple of characters that push if I saw them on a shelf for like reduced or whatever, then maybe I'd pick them up. But yeah, as a line, it kind of had a limited time, you know. But yeah, I'm still annoyed that they didn't do a Crystal Skull version, and Steve Evans made it quite clear that they probably weren't going to be touching that one. So I feel the completionist in me is really frustrated now. Well, I've got all the others. Like, I need I need the bad one, but
you need Indiana Jones in the fridge.
Yeah, exactly. What that could be a deluxe figure straight away. Articulated fridge, you know. But
mate, are you ready to see what I picked up this week? Because
I was delaying it. I was delaying it because I was kind of like, you know what? I know you're going to outdo me this week. Go on.
Well, I went on a bit of a tangent this weekend. A lot of things arrived as well from companies and stuff. But I went to my comic book store, and he still had the deal on for Super Sevens, which were buy one get one free. So I couldn't resist. Go Power Rangers! Man. The green Power Rangers, and I love the alternate head where he's the bad Tommy as well, like evil version of Tommy.
They're 6-inch, right?
Yeah. So I got that bad boy, and to go with him because there's an epic battle between Tommy and Goldar Power Rangers.
Wow, it talks as well. How much were they? What was the price on them?
So, as you can see from the little sticker there, I was very lucky. Buy one, get one free, baby. So, it was 40 quid, but basically that makes it 20 quid a piece. Happy days.
How many have they still got in there? We might have to talk afterwards.
He's got more Tommies. He's got about 3 more Tommies. And I think I got the last Goldar, but I don't know what he's got, like Itchy and Scratchy and Simpsons, and basically every Super 7's on the offer. He had like some of the G.I. Joe ones as well, like Snake Eyes and.
Let's talk.
Yeah, and
because I'm really frustrated because I've got my Power Ranger set up, and I don't have a green. I have a White Ranger in there, but I don't have a green, and it's kind of like I don't want to buy the original one I had from the 2-pack because that's not the accurate dragon suit. That's not the accurate green one. And then the modern one that they've released, they haven't given in the dragon shield, have they? They put it with a red version. I'm like, I don't need another red, so I might have to get a Super 7 green to just slip in there to balance it out.
If Mick is still in the comments, by the way, Mick, that was Wakefield Comics 616. I know Mick's local to me. He goes to the same comic book stores. And
now you've said that, Mick's just going to go there and buy all the Tommies just to spite me. It's like he's going to go and buy one get one free on all the Tommies.
So Heo contacted me this week, and they were saying it's been London Toy Fair, and at London Toy Fair, obviously they have a lot of toys on display that they can't then sell on, because they've been opened and handled and touched and stuff all weekend. So they were like, would you like some figures? And I'm like, of course I would like some figures. Who are you talking to? It's me. So Beast Kingdom's Batman from the Flash movie. So it's basically Michael Keaton's, it's bloody glare on my screen. Michael Keaton's Batman.
Nice.
That's the Beast Kingdom version as well. So quite high end, very nice looking. And I know you're going to want this one. I'm sorry. Spider-Man. Oh. Got the SH Figure Arts Green Goblin on the glider.
Man.
So both of these had been opened, and they have been like messed with them. I'm like, dude, I'm an out of box collector. I couldn't give a crap what condition the boxes are in.
Man, so, I'm not jealous of that.
Beast Kingdom and SH Figure Arts right there.
Oh man. To be honest, I've got the Hasbro Green Goblin, and he's not that bad. He's as far as legends go, he's one of the better ones that came out.
And are you ready for the Piece de la Resistance?
That's not even it. Oh, okay.
Piece de la Resistance from I bought this a long time ago. It's been on pre-order. Basically, I pre-ordered this before I stopped pre-ordering. So we're talking like a year and a half ago. This was pre-ordered
easily.
I have to back up because it's that damn big.
Oh, wow.
Mezco's Tower of Fear. It's Mezco's interpretation of the Universal Monsters, and it's a retro style playset like you had when you were a kid.
Yeah.
So it's like a cardboard background with like plastic shelving, and it comes with tons of accessories. It comes with all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the action figures. So you get the Mummy, Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, and the Sea Creature.
Wow, that is
like
cool.
loads of accessories to go with them. So that box is just too nice to throw away. Look at the artwork on that. That is just amazing.
That is cool. That is very cool.
Very retro looking piece, and I can't wait to get that on the shelf.
That is very cool.
So yeah, I went a bit overboard this weekend.
Okay, right. I'm gonna see your your things, and then what would you trade for the Dark Queen Duck Deluxe box set? I haven't opened this bad boy yet, but it's big box. But I didn't show you it last time because it was put away, so I thought I'd get it out. Even though I got it the other week.
Yeah, I kind of contacted Zach about that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
As soon as I saw you with that, I'm like, yeah, I need that now.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's worth having. It's definitely worth having.
I was talking to you privately about this one, but to get in the mood for the new X-Men, I'm not sure if people know about this. I want to talk about it. But you know, Panini Comics that reprint stuff for the UK?
Yep.
So they have put out an X-Men 92 omnibus. So these are all the comic books from about 2016, I think these came out. And it's basically like a continuation of the cartoon. It's set before the end of the cartoon. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's not going to bleed into the new stories. It's like a continuation of like series 4 or something onwards. So it's before Charles Xavier gets like infected.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's got all the stories to do with Dracula and like Jubilee getting bitten by vampires, and it's got all that kind of storyline in it.
Amazing.
And then you've got obviously Apocalypse and Cable, and it's amazing. It's the fact that all the artwork in the comic is obviously based on the cartoon Jim Lee style. Cool, so it just looks like you're watching the TV series.
That's cool. We'll talk about that in a bit because that trailer came out between shows.
That's why I'm saying like this is a perfect little grab now and it's Panini Comics, so it's in the UK, and it was only 20 quid, which I didn't think was too bad for a cash in like that, to be honest. Big ass book as well.
Yeah, not at all. That's really good. What about you, Paul? You picked up anything this week?
No, I'm quite slow on I've got a couple of few bits on pre-order that I'm waiting to come through. So, but I think like yourself, Ash, it's the pre-order game is just a painful one at the moment. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm seeing things dropping in America. I'm seeing kind of chatter on the groups of things potentially arriving. So, yeah, just waiting at the moment. Yeah. It's been a slow week.
Yeah, my John Carver figure's in the mail from NECA as well. They contacted me yesterday saying that it's officially been shipped now. So, and I've got a Royal Mail tracking number now, so it should be with me in a couple of days. I'm excited.
Nice. I've kind of taken a page out of Sorrell's book, though, and I just don't pre-order it in a minute.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I think the one that I'm excited the most for, which again I think it's probably not going to be a million miles off, is the NECA RoboCop figure.
That looks nice.
The Alex Murphy. Yeah, it's pretty gruesome. They've gone full in on it.
Yeah. Just a couple of things in the chat very quickly. Bethany Beth has said she's going to buy it all and up the price for me, which is nice. so like subscriber, contribution there, Bethany Beth. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And then Shelley doing her typical laughing at it. Northern Nomad, Apocalypse. I like what you've done there. I see what you've done there. Yeah, is Apocalypse feature much in that book?
Yeah, it's got a decent storyline in it. It's got a big chunk of the book. I had to flick through it the other day to see what stories were in there.
Good. And going back to Bethany Beth, she said, "How many Funko Pop chases does Paul have?"
Top of my head, I will probably say maybe 20. Not a massive amount. For me, it's not about the getting the chase. It's just getting the specific one that I like. So sometimes I like a chase version more. Sometimes I like the comma more than the chase. So yeah, it's one of those I've been collecting for a long time now. So I think with a lot of collectors, there's that real risk of burnout. I think if you don't get your head around what you want to collect and how you want to collect, and you manage your budget and your space, that it's so easy because these manufacturers now, they're just pumping out so much. There's so much volume so I think if you don't get your head around that, I see it a lot where collectors will, they'll get 3-6 months in and then they look at the collection and they think, Christ, how much money have I spent? And, what could I do, So for me, there's been a real kind of, over the years, a real refinement whereby I only really collect the stuff that I love. So granted, I look around now and I've got a lot, but I can genuinely put my hand on heart and say that I only collect what I love.
Yeah. That is a key thing. And just live in denial. Just pretend that you haven't. That was what got me through the first kind of 6 months. No, in all fairness, that is massive. I massively agree with that. Like for me, I was a die-hard Legends collector. I had collected them literally since the beginning, and last year just reached that burnout. I was kind of like, they were being pumped out so much. I read a comment on one of the pages, and it summed it up perfectly, and it was like that they were producing them so fast that they are producing them so fast it didn't feel like there was enough time to appreciate the wave that you'd just got before the next one was in the post. And that's kind of how I felt, and I was like, you know what, stepped back and just kind of opened up to new kind of lines and everything. I did move one of my figures around knowing that you were on the show tonight, though. Out of all, I've probably got like 2,000 odd figures in this room, and I have one pop. Right, one pop. Ta-da! I was like, I need to get my pop out because we got pulled.
Nice. Nice.
And the reason I got it wasn't a bobblehead one or anything, but it's essentially an Orgy 2 figure. Like next to a 6-inch figure, that's an Orgy 2. And I love it. Absolutely love it. 2018. But yeah.
That's a line that I've not got. I like the film, but never picked that line up. I did pull down my favorite.
Nice.
That is my favorite pop.
Why
Blue
did you pick that one?
It's one of those. It's probably people in the chat now that are probably going absolutely mental at the thought of a chrome. So chrome, when it comes to Funko, chromes are like the Marmite. The chromes and flocked and gold variants and things like that. They're kind of the Marmite. I personally love them. A lot of people don't. It's just something to do with the design. The blue chrome Batman, he was an SDCC exclusive. I want to say maybe 2018. Just love him. Just love the design of it. I'm a massive Batman fan. I know I've got my Marvel behind me, but a little bit further down the wall, I've got a load of DC as well. So I enjoy many fandoms.
Yeah. You know what? I can get behind that.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say I can completely get behind that, because when it comes to like chrome, when it comes to kind of like glittery, whatever it is that the toy company wants to do, if it works with the design of the character, I can get behind it. And a blue chrome Batman works because it's got that retro kind of look to it. So yeah, I see why that one's your favorite. That's cool.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. They massively miss the mark on some things as well. But every now and again, they get one right. They recently did a wood effect pops, and I think they only did might have only even done one or two. But they started off with Marvel with Captain America, Steve Rogers, and surely you think to yourself, if you're going to do a wood effect pop, maybe start with Groot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so, as I say, they're very much the Marmite. I think some people just absolutely hate them. But for me, it's yeah, I've got all the chromes.
Nice. Before we get to Sorrell's comment, Annie H said that he went deep with Funkos, had hundreds, and looked at one day and thought, what am I collecting? And now only goes Green Lantern and Pennywise. Which is fair enough. And Jenko representing there. See, I do have a horror figure in my collection. I got Orgy too. Yeah. But no.
Is Little Shop of Horrors really a horror movie? I don't know.
I class it more as a musical. I'm like,
it's a musical,
more kind of like, I've got a like.
It
is. It's more of a musical, but no, Little Shop is one of my absolute favorites. And
I see. I can't do Audrey's voice without slightly going into a bit of a racist American like Southern accent.
Funny enough, actually, I'll give when we do community stuff, I'll give him a shout out. But one of my friends over on Instagram is the guy that does the puppet of Orgy 2, or did the puppet of Orgy 2 out on Broadway. So I'll give him a shout out on community a little bit later on.
My favorite pops came out this last Christmas, and I cannot believe it took this long to get a merch line for this film. But We're Marley and Marley.
Yeah, they're cool. They are cool.
I had to get
But
them
the-
as soon as I saw them I were in game. And as soon as I saw them, I was like, I need those. But annoyingly, they did have the glow in the dark ones, but they were the manager himself had bought them, which are like, you get.
You've got to have some perks.
Yeah,
Got to be a perk.
they have some perks of the job.
But I think that's what Funko do. You know, you've recently seen it with there's a Wizard of Oz line. So I think they can't, obviously they're quite clever in how they do it. So the Muppets line, the Wizard of Oz line, these are lines that are going back maybe 7-8 years. Kind of quite rare, quite wanted. No sign of them coming out again. And then all of a sudden they just drop a whole new wave. Same characters, updated molds. And then that really frustrates a lot of people because on one hand, it's giving new collectors an opportunity to dip back into franchises that maybe they didn't think they'd be able to get. But then there's other people who think, well, is it going to devalue my current pops? Because my current pops might be kind of quite rare and wanted. Whereas now you can go to most shops and pick them up for a tenner. And I think that was kind of, that's why it was nice with the Muppets, because they didn't just relaunch another Muppet line. It was very much the Christmas Carol. Whereas with the Wizard of Oz, they literally just flat out redoing the Wizard of Oz. So it's interesting how they do that.
Yeah, OGs on my channel will know that I've got a very weird obsession with the Wizard of Oz. And as soon as Funko announced those pops, I was like, yeah, I need every single one of them. I've got Wizard of Oz Lego, I've got Wizard of Oz Migos, I have Wizard of Oz Barbie dolls. It's a weird little collection that I don't put on camera because I think it's very odd, but I love it to bits. I get enough comments for being the grown man that collects Monster High. I get enough comments from that. I don't want to start introducing Barbie dolls to the collection. You know what I mean?
I say collect what you love.
You know what? Speaking of Barbie dolls, I don't think I've ever mentioned this on one of the previous shows, but no, it's not me and Barbie. Don't worry. But back when I lived out in America, in New York, like my girlfriend at the time, she had a friend. And we went round to her apartment a few times, and she was moving, and she had a collection of Barbie dolls in box since the beginning. She had like every single Barbie doll in a box. 3 rooms of her apartment were just full of boxes, and she was showing me all these, like she had like the Diana one that she got out and showed me, and like the Raw, like every kind of special edition Barbie that had come out and all the rest of it. And she gave me an MC Hammer in the box, like with like an MC Hammer Barbie doll with like the cassette tape in it and everything like that. And I kept it in the box for about 6 months, and then I was like, I want to see if that tape played. And I opened it all up and then realized I didn't have a tape player, so I was like, oh. So I've never seen a collection like it, and I don't know if she's still collecting, but I was like, wow, that is some, because it was started by her parents, I believe, that they'd started it for her like ahead of time. And obviously passed it on to her at a certain age, and she continued it and stuff. But yeah, mental, absolutely mental.
But just imagine the gold mines that we would all be sitting on if you had that kind of foresight when you were young. I'm not going to play with those those Kenner Star Wars. I'm just going to keep them mint in a card in a drawer.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That, like toys nowadays, like people, yes, there's the odd one every now and again that will come out that if you hold on to it, it's got some real value. But like a lot of kind of more kind of inexperienced collectors kind of imagine that everything's going to be the value of the original Star Wars Kenner in 20 years time, and that's not really how it works. Like you got to look at kind of the origins of some of these toy lines, like the Masters of the Universe toy line, for example, and like the whole history that goes with that, and the original Turtles and the original Star Wars. Like we're not living in that age now, so you buy what you want to buy because you want to display it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm an out of box collector, because I'm like, you know what's worth money today, like you say, the company could go, and Hasbro's a prime example of it. Marvel Legends, you'd have Marvel Legends that were literally fetching £150 out of the box, missing accessories, and then Hasbro release a re-release, and then all of a sudden you can't give that one away. So,
but I see it all the time in the in Facebook groups. People will put posts on, what should I buy? Is it what's this worth? Is it? And you're like, and I can't help but kind of think, well, you're collecting for the wrong reasons. Collect because you enjoy it. You know, the
Yeah.
way, because people say to me, kind of, you know, well, how much, you know, what's the price of your room? How much money have you spent? It's not about money. If for me, it's about every single bit in this room. You know, the little bits of plastic, they're just simply there to bring me a little bit of joy. That's it. You know, if my house is burning down tomorrow, I look after my family and my dog. That's it. These bits of plastic, I'll replace them.
Yeah.
You know, but ultimately, that's what they're for. It's not about money. So, what price do I put on this room? It's priceless because it makes me happy. That's the simple way I look at it.
Yep. No, 100% with you on that one. 100%. I can't hear you, Sorrel. Can't hear you, buddy. Can't hear you.
I
was imagining you were going to like pull the wire and it'd be all frayed at the end. Jenko just quickly said, such a great way of looking at collecting, Paul. But yeah, that is it. That's very much what it's got to be.
No, I was just saying, Jenko said in the chat, did I get the flocked Gonzo and Rizzo? No, I just got the standards, I'm afraid. I couldn't get the flocked ones. I've got the standard ones. But I do have the entire collection of the Muppets. I could not resist getting them.
Ash, I think the ones that they always make me jealous when I see them, which I've had to resist myself from pulling the trigger on them, is it the Diamond Select, the little Diamond Select sets, the little Kermits and
oh yeah, the Muppet figures.
That's got the complete collection of.
I've got the entire collection of them now.
I'm so jealous because every time I see them, I just see like little Kermit with his banjo and all the other figures, and I just think I just can't go down that rabbit hole because again, I won't stop at one or two. It'll be I need him, and I'm going to do a diorama now. I need to, I'm going to have to build another room.
In my old room, my favorite thing, because I had all my shelves, and my favorite thing in the old room was when I had, because all the other figures were like stood up, and then on just behind me on the camera shot, if you watch my old videos, you'll see that I've got Kermit sat on the edge of the shelf playing his banjo, and I've got Deadpool next to him. And that little setup of having Kermit and Deadpool side by side was just the funniest thing to me, having those two.
Nice.
It's my only one. My only one. And the funny thing is, I picked this one up for the director's chair that was with him.
Oh yeah, for Stan Lee.
For Stan Lee. And I actually don't know where the director's chair's gone. Oh no, it's up there. No, it's not. I actually don't know where the director's chair's gone. I've still got the Kermit and the banjo. And as well, you got the Wassit with him as well in that set, the little rabbit guy.
Yeah.
So, has he got a name? What's his name?
You will have a name. I can't remember off the top of my head.
No.
Hello.
That's the extent of my Muppet Diamond Select collection.
And that's the challenge that I always have because it's one of those. I'm kind of quite an impulsive guy. If I see something that I really like, I'll get it, and then it arrives, and I think, where the hell am I going to put it?
Yeah. I've got to admit, I wouldn't have been able to get all of them, in all honesty, without the help of Diamond Select. I've been very, very lucky that Diamond has been very good to me and Jacob, and they helped me track down the ones I were missing, because I was missing like Rolf, and he goes for a pretty penny on eBay with his piano and stuff, and like the animal figure, you cannot get animal for love of money anywhere. So I mean, Diamond really helped me out with like tracking down the ones I needed.
Yeah.
But I tell you what,
Bean the Bunny. There we go.
Yeah, Bean the Bunny.
Yeah.
They've never made that. I can't remember. Is he called Sweetums? The big, tall, brown guy with the big nose and stuff. They've never made him in Diamond Select, because I think he'd be too big by comparison to the other Muppets. But I'd love a figure of him. I'm sure he's called Sweetums.
Elephant thing.
No, he's like a furry brown monster, isn't he, with a big orange nose?
I'm thinking Sesame Street.
You think it's Snugglefuck? What is this? Snuffleupagus?
Yeah, I was thinking Sesame Street.
Yeah, no, Muppets had that guy who was like a guy in a suit, basically. But obviously, at the side of the Muppets, he would be massive in Diamond if Diamond made a figure out of him. I
really apologise to people in the chat because, like, Jenko said it was Bean the Bunny. Shelley said her cat's called Bean after that bunny. And there's me with the figure, and I didn't even know what his name was. So I do apologise.
But I tell you what, I found at B&M, which I've never been more happy with in my life. They have little South Park vinyl figures. So it comes with, you get Stan and Kyle, Kenny Cartman, and you even get Butters.
Oh, wow.
B&M can be a little bit of a goldmine if you've got a decent B&M store near you. Ours has got the South Park figures in, and yeah, there's some good stuff in there.
Is it a pack?
Yeah, it's a big long pack, and it's like I think like a tenner in mine now. But
Mm.
yeah, as soon as I saw them, like, because you don't see South Park very often, so like that is awesome. These little South Park minis.
Problem I've got with B&M now is that it's kind of cult wise to the cool
Don't look
kid on the
cheap
block.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have everything. Like they got Legends in there. They've got DC Multiverse. They've got Turtles. They've got Super 7. Like there's so many decent like lines in there, but they've
Yeah.
kind of caught on to the fact that people like these things and the prices have gone up. And yeah, I kind of miss the day of the animated Batman figures being in there where they were just selling them for pennies because they didn't know what they had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's talk entertainment and toy news quickly.
Yeah. X-Men 97.
Yeah. Do you want to go there first?
Excited times.
Have you done anything on this trailer yet? Have you talked about it anywhere?
Me, yeah.
Yeah.
I did a live stream, and I did I basically did. I couldn't. I was gonna do a video breaking down the trailer, but then I just couldn't be bothered recording it, so I just went live and did it live. It was more fun that way. But yeah, I kind of did like a frame by frame breakdown.
Yeah. Did you catch it, Paul? You must have seen that, right?
I saw it. I'm gonna horrify you both, and please don't disconnect me. But yeah, I'm not a big kind of cartoon comic fan.
Okay, he's gone. Right, there we go. I'm only joking. Only joking.
I appreciate it. I understand that the origins that have led to kind of the build the foundations of where we are now. But it's the same with comics. I've read bits and bobs here and there, but not a big comic book fan.
No, that's fine though. That is fine. But you know what? For me, it was the nostalgic element of kind of that cartoon from our childhood, from when we were younger, kind of coming back and making a comeback. I got excited. I did get excited. Sorrell was texting me like an obsessive ex-girlfriend. It was like, dude, it's out. I got a couple of messages from other people, Link and that. I think it was just the surprise of the drop, like the fact that there was no real announcement as to when it was coming. It just kind of came out of nowhere. One thing I will say for it is I'm glad that they're sticking with the original kind of animation style, that it looks very much like a continuation. They've not tried to give it some kind of fancy reboot. Like obviously there's going to be natural changes because of progression in animation and all that kind of stuff, but they've stylized it very much in the way of the 90s cartoon. But I've seen a lot of hate for it on the internet.
Yeah, people have been doing my head in. Like someone said on a video, Wolverine doesn't sound right. I'm like, it's the same actor. He's just old now. He's just older. He can't do the voices well because he's like, he must be knocking on now.
Cal Dodd, like,
Cal Dodd,
and
yeah.
I had an opportunity to interview him as well, and I've never met anyone that loves the character more than Cal Dodd. Like he loves Wolverine. Like he lives and breathes Wolverine. Like, so.
To be fair, he's the reason that we do that. Like, if you do Wolverine, you never think of Hugh Jackman's voice. If you're going to do an impression of Wolverine, you do the Carl Dodd version. You do the gruff growl.
Yeah, that is the voice of Wolverine. What a lot of people hear. But a lot of the voice actors have returned for the roles. So we've got all the same people play. Anyone that was alive and able to do it have returned to do the voices. So I didn't have an issue with that. I saw a lot of hate with people kind of like
Morph.
Yeah, like Morph, for example, and I don't know. The jury's out on that one, but I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine.
Do you think the hate's coming from maybe the younger generation who are not as kind of they didn't have that love for the original, or do you think it's just people who've grown and they're expecting something different?
I think there might be some truth in what you've said there. I think like one of the things that I did see a lot of comments for is that there's one scene in the trailer where they're all in like recreational gear, like in the swimsuits, and the Gambit's got the bandana on and stuff. And that's right out of the comic books. Like that's straight out of the comic books. And there was a lot of people sharing it, saying that, or even X-Men has gone woke and and all this kind of stuff. And it was like, no, that's like paying homage to like some classic covers and stuff. In that scene as well, did you notice Jean Grey was pregnant?
Yeah, so you see them sort of like do the bit where she's clearly telling Scott she's pregnant, and then at the end of the trailer she's got the big belly and the referee's costume, isn't she? But that should be interesting because everyone on the internet that has never read a comic book and have only seen a cartoon are going, "Oh yeah, we're going to see the birth of Cable." I'm like, that's not Cable because Cable comes from Madeline.
And that's not Jean. That won't be Jean either. If that's that's what I'm saying.
The Madeline Breyer.
And we've already seen the Goblin Queen figure. I'm just saying,
We do. So yeah, she's coming into it, isn't she?
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine.
Jean Grey's clone, right? From a Brightly, Madeline Breyer.
Andy H has said, let's address the rabbit in the trailer. They have made Rogue less voluptuous, for want of a better phrase. Yeah, they dialed it all down. Yeah, Rogue was a lot of people's crushes. Let's be honest. There's a few comic book cartoon characters that are passable for people to have crushes on. I think Rogue broke a lot of hearts back in the 90s.
But it was cool that the Daily Bugle at the beginning. Did you see the still of that?
Eddie Brock and Peter Parker.
Eddie Brock and Peter Parker are mentioned, and obviously the mutants that are on the front cover. We've got Dust, who was the first Muslim like X-Men to be introduced from like back in 98, 99. And then we had there were two others on there as well that were also from the comics. They were like,
and
they
were
like
the Hellfire.
Yeah, and the Hellfire Club. And we also
Color.
we see Savage Lands as well in the trailer. So they're going to go back to there. So it's going to be a good TV set. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Do you think Spider-Man will cross over?
Yes. I've got a feeling that they've recently redone the Marvel Animation logo. Do you notice it's got a new logo? There's no way they've like gone to the effort of making a whole new studio and that just for one cartoon. So I mean, they're going to definitely do Spider-Man. And I think there'll be a crossover in this that'll lead into that. And I've got if X-Men 97 is popular, then they go for Spider-Man. If that's popular, I can see them like the Incredible Hulk was a cartoon back in the day, and we had so many we had so many crossovers, didn't we, with Secret Wars where they brought all of them together back in the day. They'll do stuff like that again where they'll basically have a cartoon universe again, like when we were kids. It'll just definitely happen.
I think with the popularity of What If and obviously the hype of X-Men 97, they are going to build an animation line without a doubt.
Yeah, and with Fantastic Four having a movie coming out now, I think it would be definitely a wise of them to do. If X-Men 97 is successful, Spider-Man 100% will come out, and I think Fantastic Four would probably follow that.
Well, we do have Spider-Man Freshman Year. I don't know what the exact title is now. But that's due to come out, the animated version, like the animated prequel to the Tom Holland movies. It was called Freshman Year, but I don't know whether that was a working title at one point. But
yeah, I'm not as excited about that, to be honest.
No, but I don't know. You never know, though. He might be the Peter Parker that they were talking about.
Yeah, with this being a continuation of like the run of the 90s and stuff, there's a high possibility that we'll get Spider-Man crossovers and even like Blade and Morbius and Dracula, and there's so many 90s characters in Marvel that could easily cross over and then go off and do their own thing.
Yeah, who knows? Jenko T said it'd be great for every new episode to be released on a Saturday morning. Yep.
Yeah, I can't believe they've missed that. I cannot believe they've missed that opportunity. It's coming out on a Wednesday.
No. I must admit, though, whoever cut that trailer together did their homework. Like that hit all the feels, because it was like a full on, like pulled you back, didn't it? With the TV showing the end of the last episode and all that kind of stuff.
I'm excited. Let me explain to them as well, because I don't think it came across very well when I was like commenting and stuff. Like when the Marvel Legends team do like a live stream and then they have things behind them to tease what's coming out in the future and they'll recreate it. And like for a while, it was Dan Yun had all those X-Men card backs from the 90s on display, didn't he? And then suddenly we got all the card backs.
Yeah.
I honestly think that Colossus at the very beginning, because everyone were like, well, it's just the 90s Colossus. Like, I know it's the 90s Colossus, but what I'm saying is, I think that was a definite tease from Marvel, from the company saying that Colossus will probably come out on the 97 card back, 100%.
So what we're saying is that if they release a retro carded Colossus, you're taking.
I
that
called
one.
it first.
You're,
Yeah, I called
you're
that first.
taking that one. All right,
Because everyone else in the groups were like, it's clearly just a 90s Colossus. I'm like, I know that, knobhead.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's clearly a tease for a future figure. There's no way they've put that there without there being a deliberate reason.
No,
It's a
could
random choice of a. If they were going to put any action figure there, why Colossus?
Yeah.
You'd have put a Wolverine or a Cyclops.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you on that point. While we're talking about Fantastic Four, very quickly, while we're on entertainment news, so Fantastic Four's slated for July 25th, 2025, which means that we have 4 Marvel MCU films booked in now for 2025. Do you know what they are?
Nope.
February 14th, we've got Captain America: Brave New World, which obviously was put back. So it's supposed to be coming out earlier than that, but it's been pushed back. So this time in a year's, this time next year, it would have been out already. After that, on May 2nd, we've got Thunderbolts that's still in for 2025. Obviously a little bit rocky, but it's still in there. Followed by Fantastic Four in July, 25th of July, as we said. And then last but not least, that's still in the slate, November 7th, Blade.
That's not getting made.
I don't know. I think it might be.
They can't even get a director for the damn thing.
No, true. But that's 4 Marvel films. Jenko T in the chat, quite rightly so, said that Fantastic Four is going up against Superman Legacy because that's when Superman Legacy is due out. Is that part of 2025? But I don't know. I don't know. I'd like, I'd like a little bit of Marvel DC competition in the cinema. What time to be alive?
Shelley, hopefully it does better than this year's February 14th Marvel release.
What
Madam Web.
Oh, should we talk about that one?
No, it's rubbish. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's
Did
terrible.
you go and see it?
Yeah, it's terrible.
I was pleasantly disappointed.
Mate, did you notice that half of the dialogue didn't even sync up with the movie?
No.
There's bits where their mouths are moving and words they're just not there.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. They redubbed a lot of the lines in post-production.
Oh,
and you can tell at certain points, you can just tell. It's like, that is so badly dubbed.
We were talking about doing a live, weren't we? We were going to live do a Geek Week Plus and do a review. But as Shelley said, it was awful. We didn't
I saw it on Thursday, and I was just like, I'm not even talking about this movie on a live stream. This is just, I would just be moaning for half an hour.
I don't know. One thing I will say for it, the 3 Spider Women visually looked quite nice. I was quite pleased with how it looked. I was like, this is great. The fact that they weren't really in it, really, because it was all like dream sequence. Sorry, spoilers, but it was rubbish anyway. But they were all kind of in premonitions. Really disappointed me. I was like, you've given us 3 really good, you've given us 3 really good Spider Women costumes, and you've just not even made them real. They're just pretend dreams.
And every action sequence in the movie was in the trailer. There was no surprises in the movie whatsoever.
No.
Is this just another example of that kind of the comment that's thrown at Marvel so often? Is it just volume now over quality? Or do you genuinely think that there's enough quality within the source material that they could have done it right?
Yeah, 100%.
Madam
Web is a massive character in the comics.
Yeah.
And she's the thing that holds the whole Spider-Verse together. And they've done it dirty. They've done it massively dirty.
But this is the problem with studios, because obviously this isn't a strict Marvel release, is it? This was a Sony release. So it's that kind of awkward, who's owning who and all the rest of it. Like Peter Parker's in this. Like Peter Parker is in Madam Web, but he doesn't get named and he's a baby. It's kind of like, come on. It's like, it's
Which we called that on our breakdown of the trailer of the thing. We said that baby's probably Peter Parker.
yeah, and I'm sure you said that what's his name was Ben as well.
I did. Yeah, the
Did-
cop was Ben. Yeah, it's Ben.
But no, Madam Web as a film, there's an episode or a couple of episodes of Spider-Man the animated show where I think it's called the Multiverse or Spider-Verse or something like that. Madam Web, if they were going to do her properly as a movie, it would have to be a Spider-Man spin-off, not a standalone character film.
Yeah.
And they would have to include Spider-Man to kind of give you, and they could have included characters like Ezekiel and the other Spider Women. Like they could have included all the things that they were wanting to include in this, but it had to be linked to Spider-Man. It had to be a shoot off from some kind of Spider-Man centric thing. Was there an after credit scene? I didn't even hang around.
I didn't even hang around, so I have no idea.
No, there wasn't. Apparently,
All right, cool.
Okay. I was
I've
like,
not seen it, but
"It's
my brother works in the cinema, and he said that there literally was people just waiting right till the end, and it goes off, and there's nothing.
Yeah, see, I'm really conscious of films and kind of like waiting and all that kind of stuff. And I left, and then I was like, oh, I forgot. Is there? It was like one of them ones where I couldn't get out quick enough, and then I realized I didn't wait to see if there was. But yeah. Jenko in the chat said, "Did you all go and watch it? I thought better of you all."
I've not seen it.
Sorry, I do apologize. But yeah, no, I don't know. It visually, it didn't offend me too much. Visually, I liked the design of everything. I quite liked Evil Spider-Man. Like it was like, you know, I didn't really get behind him as a character, but I quite liked the look of him. It was quite cool. But yeah, it just didn't land. The whole way through, I was just wanting her to be old and have glasses and be sat in a chair. But she didn't.
That was the thing. Yeah, we never saw her become the proper Madam Web.
Like Madam Web isn't like a sexy young woman.
No.
Like, it's like an old woman in a big
nanny.
spider chair. Yeah, like Aunt May.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I was a little bit disappointed. But I didn't expect it to be good. I think that's the thing. I didn't go there thinking, oh, this is it. This is going to be the best film ever. I kind of expected it to be rubbish, but because it was a Spider-Man property to an extent, I was kind of like, are they going to try to link it in with Venom? Is this going to be some kind? Because it has potential to essentially have pulled everything together.
Yeah.
That's because obviously Marvel have Spider-Man, the MCU have Spider-Man at the moment, but he's owned by Sony, and there's that whole kind of, you can borrow him for this and you can have him for that sort of thing. Madam Web was the one film that really had the potential of pulling Venom, pulling Spider-Man, like pulling it all together to give us something to look forward to. Even if it never kind of came to anything, it could have really set something up, and it just didn't. No, I don't know.
Yep.
No little girl is going to run out and want to buy a Madam Web t-shirt. Do you know what I mean? Or own a Madam Web action figure. Like it happened. It happened. We have a Madam Web film. We also have a Morbius film. Like,
yeah. Don't mention Morbius to me. That's just that's the sorest subject on the planet.
I still liked it. I'm not gonna lie.
It was an okay movie, but it's not Morbius as I know Morbius. You know what I mean? Growing up reading the comic books, that is not Morbius to me. Still an enjoyable movie. You know, Matt Smith probably the best part of the whole film, but you know,
yeah,
that's a different story for a different day.
Yeah. What toy news you got?
Not massive amounts, but we'll go through it. But one thing that I did get really excited about, Lego Ideas. This is officially coming out now. We're going to be getting Lego Snow White's Cottage. Yay!
This is ahead of the film, though, right?
This is nothing to do with the film. The film has officially been sacked now, hasn't it? They're not making the movie anymore.
It's still on the slate.
Is it still on the slate?
Yeah, it's still on the slate. 2025.
They need to sack that movie off. But yeah, no, this is the original animated version, as you can tell from the dwarves and stuff. And yeah, it comes with the evil witch and everything. So I'm looking forward to that. That's a cool set. I'll definitely buy that. That is awesome. As a massive Disney geek, that's awesome.
That is very cool looking. The
Sorry,
next one up. Andy H. Madam Web made Morbius look good. And Gambrilliant said, "I'll wait for Marvel movies to come out on Disney Plus now because I used to be the guy that was at the first screening for him."
Yeah, I know that feeling. Although I watched I watched the Marvels the other day on Disney Plus, and I actually enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed that movie. I didn't think it was that bad. There were a couple
I fell
of
asleep.
creepy bits.
I fell asleep halfway through it.
Are you actually joking?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I kind of liked it. There were a couple of cringe bits. But yeah, I didn't mind it. It was cool to see the setup at the end of, obviously, she was trying to do the Nick Fury kind of thing. I thought that was funny. The only bit, the bits that I really hated was when they got Brie Larson singing. That were a bit weird.
The fact that they did a musical number in it because of the actor that was involved in that scene was obviously from a musical background.
Yeah.
The fact that they've made Nick Fury into a joke, like he is just the comic relief now. Like, this is Nick Fury. Do you remember the hype at the end of Iron Man when it turned around and Samuel L. Jackson was there as Nick Fury, and everyone was like, "Man, this is the same guy who, like, think of Pulp Fiction. Think of Pulp Fiction. How badass that guy is." And they've made him the punchline in the film. I saw a really, really good synopsis of the Marvels, and I cannot for the life of me remember who it was to credit. So if anyone knows, please let me know, because obviously full credit to them. But they said that basically the Marvels movie was like, in Jingle All the Way, there's the Turbo Man movie that's not a real movie, but you kind of get the idea that it is a movie because of the random scenes you see. And they were like, the Marvels looks like a movie that isn't a real movie. And it's just like you're seeing random bit. And I thought that is a perfect synopsis of the Marvels. Like, I wasn't offended. Like, I was kind of like, okay, much the same as a lot of this Marvel stuff that comes out now. It's like, okay, cool, we've moved the story along a little bit. But the best bit for me was the post-credits bits. Like, the bits at the end were better than the entire movie. The bit with
I'd say the whole movie is worth watching just to see Beast.
The post-credits and the end of the films where you see Kate Bishop, and they're obviously setting up the Young Avengers initiative or whatever. And then when you see Kelsey Grammer's Beast, best bits of the movie. And for those two very, very short clips, I would put it as a good film. But the rest of it was rubbish.
Do you not even like? Do you not even laugh a little bit when the end of the movie was trying to get all the staff members to get eaten by the Flurkin?
Into cats. Yeah.
No, I was like, again.
It was the announcement that was going off in the background, going, "Do not run. Please let the Flurkins eat you."
Enko just said there, look, eating all the people saying lost him. How does that work? I kind of understood this. I understood the science behind it. Silly as that sounds, I kind of understand where it's going. But again, now I'll defend the Captain Marvel movie, and I'll defend Captain Marvel in Avengers and everything like that. Like, I was quite behind. Like, I think the Captain Marvel movie is pretty cool as for what it is. And the Flurkin was like, whoa, this is a cool, like, angle. This is a cool character. And then again, they just kind of made it a joke. Like, all these cute little, like, meme-looking kittens, like, eating people. I was like, no, you've tried too hard to make this funny. And it's
the one thing that I liked about it, and this is the reason, right? So in the other movies, they basically make Brie Larson's character out to be a god character, and that nobody can stop her power, right? This movie actually makes her powers a little bit nerfed, because she needed the other two characters to help beat that the villain in it. I forgot her name already. The villain in it. And that kind of, to me, made her more realistic, because I hated that whole, like, originally in the Avengers movies, she was brought in because she was the trump card of she can beat Thanos because she's ridiculously powerful. It felt like it was a way to help, with the bad writing kind of thing. We could just use her, and that'll be the reason that she can beat him, because she's powerful.
No, but see,
whereas in this, they nerfed it. They like really nerfed her powers in this, I thought.
But I'll go the other way, and I'm not making a direct comparison. So don't shoot me in the comments. But you look at Superman. Superman is Superman. Like, don't make him weaker and try to spin a story on it. Like, give me a film of Superman like being Superman. Like, I don't care about him being humanized and, you know, all this. Like, make it Superman. Like, and that's kind of Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is next level. Like, give us Captain Marvel. Like, and that's why I think in Avengers it was perfect, because the others were all doing what they're doing, and then when she does turn up, she just literally just flies through the ship. Like, it was kind of like, yeah, that's what Captain Marvel would do. But yeah, Shelley said as well, like, the villain in it is Tom Hiddleston's wife.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I just thought was poetically upsetting, because at the same time that Marvel's came out and her introduction to the MCU was dire, he was doing Loki season 2, which was like pinnacle MCU, and it was kind of like, wow, can you imagine those conversations over breakfast? Yeah. Jenko T, there we go. Superman Returns, where he threw not one punch at anyone. Yeah, like, and that's the Brendan Ruth one, isn't it? Superman Returns. Like, and when the trailer came out for that, and you saw a bullet on Superman's eye bending over his like lens, I was like, there we go. That's Superman right there. Like, give me that. But yeah, that's why I'm really holding hope for Legacy. Don't give me some soppy, you know that he's just, give me Superman flying through buildings and blowing stuff up. Like, yeah, sorry, I went on a tangent there, but that's Captain Marvel. So yeah, and I was a massive fan of Miss Marvel as well, like the TV show. I loved it. But hey, sorry, I could go on. Enough said. Back to toy news.
Four Horsemen Studios announced that they're going to be doing the Appreciation Wave, as we know. They announced this weekend that we're going to be getting Jacob Marley re-released in this new ghostly blue color. So it is similar to the one I've got, but it is a lot more like fluorescent blue. But I think that looks cool on it, to be fair. No, I like my original one, but this one is cool. I can't lie, it is very cool.
I might have to get this now.
It was the Mask of the Red Death that upset me.
Yeah,
which we'll come on to in a minute, because I'll be going down the thing and I'll come across it. But here he is. He's actually next. Yeah, as part of that same wave, the re-releasing Mask of the Red Death. And yeah, I get that the Red Death is meant to be in the red cape and stuff, and that looks cool. But then when Four Horsemen like redesign them and give us this bad boy, I think that just looks so much more badass in the black on red. So yeah,
it's the reverse, isn't it? Your one's black with a red cape.
No, mine's all red.
Oh, it's all red. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a red. It was red. It was a red figure and a red robe, whereas this one's got the black robe on it. But the black robe looks cool, and they've included like some different colored hands as well this time.
Yeah,
so it does look very cool.
The clock's different though, isn't it?
Yeah, because the clock on mine, I believe, is red. Yeah, mine's like a dark red like burgundy almost.
Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed, that the clock was different from the one that you've shared.
Yeah, but yeah, it's still a very nice figure. Obviously, Mask of the Red Death, one of the best Edgar Allan Poe stories. For any Edgar Allan Poe fans out there,
I'm very jealous of your Sleepy Hollow. They did the Sleepy Hollow figure, didn't they?
Yeah. So right now you can get the there's the fan appreciation version of that as well. They re-released it with like glow in the dark green, and that does make me really jealous. I really want that version. It's like mine's got the flame effect, but the new one's got like a green flame effect, and that just really pops on the black. It looks so nice. As well, this wave got announced today. Well, the other day, Dungeons and Dragons by NECA are getting re-released, but they're getting like card backs, and they're going to be more like toyetic colors. So like they're not meant to look realistic this time around. They're meant to look like their original like counterparts. So like you can see on this one, like the blue's a lot more fluorescent colored and stuff like that. And then they're also going to be doing all the rest of them. So like Warduke's going to get a re-release, and they're a lot more in keeping with the sort of like pastel colors of the original Dungeons and Dragons artwork.
That's pretty cool.
It just depends on what price range they're going to stick on this, doesn't it? Because I mean, the Dungeons and Dragons figures weren't cheap when they came out. They're like 40 odd quid a pop. No. I'm hoping because it's a re-release, we might see a little bit cheaper, but I don't know. But it's the 50th anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons. That's the reason they're doing it. There's a nice 50th anniversary logo on there.
So I'm just having a quick Google, see if I can find those things that you just showed. Are they up for pre-order anywhere?
If you go on to Cool Emporium, I believe he should be getting them in if he's not got them already.
Emporium of Cool.
Yeah.
Emporiumofcool.co.uk, definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, he gets all the good importy stuff. I don't think I normally would recommend props and replicas, but they don't tend to get in the Mythic Legions as far as I'm aware. I've never seen them on that site, but Emporium of Cool always gets them in.
Oh man, I've just gone on their website.
Yeah, are they on there?
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Yeah, is it sold out?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. 1/12 scale Headless Horseman Spectral Green Edition, $129.99, and it is sold out.
Damn.
That's a shame.
Let's check out. Give me a second, eh?
It's very cool. But
That
that must have only just sold out because that was in stock a little while ago. We were talking about it. But I do prefer the version that you've got. Oh no, actually, the flame is only on his head, isn't it? It's not on the horse.
No, it's not on the horse. It's just on the head.
Yeah. Okay.
They're sold out everywhere now. Damn. But you can always try the what do you call it store? The Four Horsemen Studio store. They do restocks all the time. So especially on the fan appreciation stuff, they should come back in stock quite regular.
I'm just having a look somewhere else, but I don't want to announce it if I'm wrong. It's all right. You can talk. Yeah, never mind. Northern Nomad said the NECA D&D carded figures are $32 on Big Bad Toy Store. $32 on Big Bad Toy Store. Shelly said that she got her Headless Horseman from Emporium of Cool. They may still have stock. They don't. We just checked. All right. And Andy said this is because SuperSorrell and Curtis from Parks and Recreation, P&R, Parks and Recreation, are the same person. # change my mind.
Yeah, on our groups, I'm well known for shouting out props and replicas, and every time I buy something, Curtis advertises it on the groups, and Andy's convinced that I am Curtis now.
Yeah,
and that Curtis is an alter ego. Mezco Toy Fair 2024 has been kind of announced and revealed. This will be this next coming week, and it's usually where we get all the announcements for Mezco and what they're going to be doing, like the 1/12 scale and all that stuff. So I'm excited to see what they reveal. And this time around, they've put games prizes and reveals, so and a new exclusive. So that should be fun. Let's see what they do.
Nice. Bethany Beth said quickly. She said, "Always try me for an upper price." I think she's talking about the Power Rangers from earlier on. She did follow up by saying the figure, not me. So I think you're talking about Power Rangers there, Bethany Beth.
And then Super 7 finally showed us the reaction line of Motley Crue.
Nah, this is not my bag. That's
not your bag.
I could get behind a Motley Crue action figure line, but Super 7, it just seems like a bit of a wasted.
Did they not make you feel Dr. Feelgood? Did they not? Are they not?
See what you did there.
Did they not make you a live wire?
No, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. No, I did.
Clearly, they'll never be in your home, sweet home. I'll finish now.
I just don't like the reaction figures. I don't know. I
kind of like the musicians in that line. It's I wouldn't want as much as I love Lemmy from Motley Crue. From Motorhead. God, don't kill me in the comments. From Motorhead, I would not want a Super 7 6-inch version of Lemmy on my shelf just because that's weird. But a bunch of little 3 3/4 inch, I have loads of different band members, is quite cool.
See, but I'm the opposite. If I was to get a single, a lot of the figure lines are doing musicians now, and you can kind of put them into a pose, put them into an iconic kind of position and have them on display. It'd be different if you were like playing with it, like if you had like a Lemmy figure and you were like playing with him and Spider-Man and Batman or whatever like that. Okay, I get that. It's a bit weird, but if you're going to get them and just put them in an iconic kind of pose, it kind of makes sense. Like think about like Michael Jackson or Elvis or someone like that. Like if you were going to get them as a 6-inch fully articulated and put them in a really iconic looking pose with a bit of a diorama around them, they could look really good if you're a fan. But then a little reaction Super 7 figure would just look like a toy of that character.
Andy H, if you did have a Lemmy, you'd be the toast of the town.
Are we just going for song puns now? Are we? So we're just, yeah.
Yeah, see, if I had a Lemmy figure, it would be Born to Raise Hell. So anyway, I would say as much as I'm saying, right, that I don't want musicians in 6-inch format. I'm laughing because I've also got Kiss behind me in 6-inch.
Yeah, see, prime example though, like that, like Kiss, you can put them in a really cool setup, but then if you had them as the reaction figures, they would just look a little bit.
Well, these ones were cool because obviously it was their alter ego. So like you get like Gene Simmons has got the big bat wings and the big wings on his boots and stuff. Then you've got like the spaceman and the cat, and they're all in the like
the
alter
cat.
ego
I just
styles.
imagined as like a full-on furry, like
Cat,
sticking his face, like
Ace because he's from another planet. The feral cat, Starchild, and the demon. There's their alter egos.
Cool. They are cool though. Although
these are old now. These are so old. I got these at a toy fair a few years back, and they were on card back, and I made the guy cry because I opened them. At least he made him cry. He was like, "Dude, I've had those on card back for like 10 years." I'm like, "Yep," and now I've opened them.
I can't take Kiss seriously now after role models. Like it's just, I want
Quite a great film.
I want that version of Kiss on my on my shelf. Like there's just so many good one-liners in that. Like
Mate, Kiss have recently sold their souls, man. So they obviously are too old. They're too old to tour now. Yeah. They're too old to tour. So on their last tour in New York, they basically at the end of the tour, they put this big screen up and basically said that they'll live on forever. And it showed these like CGI versions of them. Yeah. And basically the next tour that's been announced, well, they're not even there. It's just a CGI cartoon of Kiss. It's like that is the weirdest thing ever.
I tell you what though, because ABBA do that. ABBA have the virtual tour. Yeah, and by all accounts, people who've been there have said that it's pretty impressive. So I think if you do it right, I think it's an option. But yeah, just some random cartoons on it.
It's the way forward, though. It's going to happen. Like you think about how big people popped when we had like the Michael Jackson hologram and the Tupac hologram, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, but they're like holograms on a stage on like projected onto dry ice to make it look like they're there. Like when they did Freddie Mercury and they made him appear on stage, and then this Kiss are just literally, they're not even holograms on a stage. It's just a screen. You may as well go to a cinema and watch it. It's just a CGI screen. And the
know what though?
Go on.
I'm going to defend this because about 15 years ago, I went to Elvis in concert at O2. What's the Oh No or whatever it's called, like the the small one, and it was the orchestra. I can't even say the word, that played with him, or as many of them as possible. And then on the screen, it was they played the concert, but then you had the full orchestra. Why can't I say that word? Playing the music. And I tell you what, it felt like I was at an Elvis concert. Like it was really surreal that you kind of, because with a lot of music concerts as well, you look at like Taylor Swift, how big like her concert tours. For most people there, you're watching a screen anyway. You're just in there, you're in the room, you're hearing the music, you're feeling the vibe of everyone being there, and you're watching a screen. Oh, like Sorrell's gone now because I mentioned Taylor Swift. But you're watching he's gone to put his Taylor Swift t-shirt on. But you're watching a screen, aren't you? So I get these new virtual tours, and I and like I said, the Elvis one I did, and this was long before the the virtual tour idea even existed. It was just they were literally playing a recording of the concert. but hearing the band and orchestra playing properly kind of worked.
Well, that's it. I think, with the advent of, with the technology there is now, with deepfakes and the CGIs, holographics, and all that. Yeah, it won't be long before there literally is alternate performers who are effectively miming and then the deepfaking over the top and projecting. So because there was the talk a while back that Bruce Willis had sold his likeness rights to be able to continue to make films. I don't think I think I think that was disproven. I'm sure they came out and said no. I think they used his likeness. I think for one advert. I think it was afterwards. But I think that was the talk, is that going forward that might be a viable option. Is that after they're able to sell their rights to enable them to effectively be immortalized in whatever films going forward.
I mean, sorry, Sorrell had to leave because he had a props and replica call to address to deal with someone in customer service. So no, but you know what? If it's done correctly, I'm all for it. If it's done in the way that it was done in Flash, for example, where a lot of the likenesses looked a little bit computer gamey, then yeah, I'm not down for that.
Yeah, Sorrell is a Tay-Tay fan. Passive. Don't you diss Tay-Tay.
You didn't like the baby in the microwave?
No. Speaking of likeness and characters and all the rest of it, did you hear as well that supposedly Henry Cavill has signed with the MCU as Captain Britain?
Captain Britain. I didn't hear Captain Britain. I heard something else. I didn't hear Captain Britain though.
You heard Doctor Doom, right?
I heard Doctor Doom.
Yeah, Doctor Doom's been kind of debunked, but
he
supposedly,
would be a very mostly Doctor Doom, wouldn't he?
Yeah, supposedly it's Captain Britain, which I think would be fantastic. And also, Nicolas Cage is supposedly in talks with.
No.
They're doing a live action Spider-Man noir for Prime, I think it is. Yeah, I'm all for that, mate. I am all for that.
I'm Spider-Man. I've got to do things, and I'm a Spider-Man.
But that's how they made Spider-Man noir that character.
So, Spider-Man noir was about hunting down Nazis and Hitler, right? Yeah. I can't imagine what is he gonna do with that.
It's just gonna hunt bad guys in the alleyways of 1950. That's it. Andy H said the Bruce Willis thing was an advert in Russia who used his likeness without his consent. There we go.
I think we all knew it weren't Bruce Willis though, because Bruce Willis can't string a sentence together anymore. Yeah. Too soon.
Yeah, too soon, man. Too soon.
Northern Nomad, SuperSorrell, lol. Oh dear.
Too soon. Let's move on to brighter notes.
I'll tell you what we did get as well. In other news, did you see the stills from? Way too soon. Yeah, I'll give you that one. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm disabled. I can say these things. Joker gave us some new screenshots. Did you see those?
Yeah. Quickly, just coming back to Shelley there in the comments as it popped up. It was mentioned ages ago about Henry possibly playing Captain Britain. That was after his exit from The Witcher and obviously his push out from the DC universe after Superman and stuff. But he is in talks with Marvel, and supposedly it has been confirmed that he has signed, and Captain Britain is the character. And if they do a standalone Captain Britain film with Henry Cavill at the helm, I'm all for it, because that will also link into X-Men.
That could be another way of introducing some X-Men.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We all know his sister is. We all know who his sister is. Right.
So yeah, we got some stills from the new Joker. I can't say the sequel's name. It's in French. But yeah, Joker 2. And yeah, we got some nice shots of from the movie. But he's in the clown makeup a lot in this one. By the looks of it. Sorry, go on.
I don't know where I'm at with this film. That looks good.
Yeah, I do like when I hope we do see her slowly go nuts basically and turn into the Harley Quinn we all know and love. Just a more serious version of it to match his Joker.
I I just don't know where we're going with it. I don't, because obviously the last one, it was all very dream sequence and all the rest of it.
Well, I'm wondering whether stuff like that is a dream sequence, because why would he be? Because that's clearly meant to be like a courtroom. I wonder if he's like standing trial for the crimes of the first film. But why would they allow him to go in dressed as the actual clown? A courtroom
Yeah.
would never get, like, he's in prison. Where would he get the makeup from? They're hardly going to be like, oh yeah, mate, here's your clown makeup. It's not going to
I
happen,
don't
is
know.
it? I think that's a massive dream sequence.
I can't. I would like to think they wouldn't go down the same route with the sequel that they did the first one, because it would be too easily to call. But I just don't know where this film. I can't figure out what the plot's going to be. I can't figure out what, like, she is Lady Gaga at the end of the day, but she is a very talented actress as well. Like, if you see her in some of the things that she's done, she can be very watchable, and I think that this will work very well for her. I just don't know. Fuzzy Dunlop said smacks of the Harleen story. Yeah, okay. Ray Dynasty said Pedro Pascal is in everything now. Thankfully, he's not in this, I don't think.
I love
I
it.
don't know.
Lawyer or judge or something.
He'll turn up as like the Riddler or something.
Don't even give them ideas. Jesus.
Yeah. You just did a doo-doo.
But no, I'm looking forward to it, because they did announce that it's meant to be a bit of a musical as well. If I remember back when they announced that a while back, that's why they hired Lady Gaga in the first place. So I mean, I'm interested to see how it all pans out.
I just don't know what. I don't know what to. I loved the first one because it was so different and kind of, we didn't really know what to expect. But I don't know. I'm excited for it.
Listen, Murray. Yeah, I love that
Did,
film.
did you see the in-art release of the 1/6 scale Joker pack? The four figures. Well, there's a 2-figure and a 4-figure option.
Yeah, that was It's one of them figures as well that it's kind of like I kind of wanted to get a representation of him on my shelf, but then I was like, I think it's one of them ones that will kind of be a bit of a flash in the pan for me, and I kind of want, especially with 1/6 scale figures, I want ones that I know that I want to keep, that I won't necessarily want to sell on or get rid of. I think with the Joker, it'll be something that I pass on after a while. But it's an amazing pack, without a doubt.
Not cheap.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's like some of the Batman ones though, with like the armories and the caves, and like they're phenomenal, and like the price tag on them is exceptional. But for anyone that does collect 1/6, it's worth it. Like, if you can afford it. There he is.
DC. That's my DC over there. If I can say, I'll take you over. Where am I?
And there's the Joker. Look, you've got 2 versions of him. There you go. That's the armory one.
The armory, yeah.
Phenomenal sets. Yeah. Oh, I love Hot Toys.
What were your thoughts this week on the DC multiverse announcements? Did you see that this week?
I did.
So we're getting 3 figures. We're getting Aquaman, Batman, and Green Lantern. Yep. But they come with a digital Build-A-Figure or something. They're getting like digital NFT style stuff now.
Yeah, I don't know why they're jumping on that.
I don't know what that is about. Because surely, this is what I don't get. If they're going to do that, then surely it's just a picture of an action figure, which is what I'm looking at right now. Why would I need a code to download it? I don't understand. If anyone in the comments can help me understand, that'd be amazing. But yeah, it's like it's like NFTs, isn't it? They call it or something.
Yeah, non-fungible token.
Yeah, I don't get it. I
honestly thought that hype had gone. I thought we were past all that.
Do you know your camera's gone off, Jacob? Right?
Yeah, I'm just getting something.
But yeah, so yeah, the figures look okay. I think a lot of people want the Green Lantern, but it's not too bad. But yeah, it was just that weird NFT part. I was like, what is going on with that?
I think everyone's trying to milk it. You know, Funko have their kind of their regular NFT drops. I think McFarlane do their digital collections as well now.
I'm
It's
just
just
not a
odd.
big fan. I'm really not a big fan of the NFT stuff. I want something that I can put on my shelf. Just quickly, we've got Starkiller in the chat as well. Said, I really want the Anakin Skywalker Hot Toys. Yeah, so that is a decent figure. But to be honest with you, some figures, in my opinion, do work better on 6-inch or 7-inch scale. So, like the Invincible figures, for example, I think the Diamond Select ones hit the nail absolutely on the head. And I've not seen a good 1/6 scale version. They're too realistic looking, whereas the Diamond Select ones are very comic book looking, very animated looking. So I think with Hot Toys and 1/6 scale figures, do you get any of the third party figures as well, or are you all just solely Hot Toys, Paul?
A little bit of everything, yeah. It doesn't bother me whether they're Hot Toys or a third party. It's more a case of it's the figure or the character that I want. So yeah, it really doesn't bother me.
No, I'm the same. I am the same, and I just find that 1/6 scale seems to be one of the only scales that the main like leader, like being Hot Toys, it doesn't matter if it's them or one of the sort of slightly cheaper third party, because they're all very similar quality. But with like 6-inch scales, it's very difficult. Like if it's not a Marvel Legends, if it's a knockoff, it's a knockoff. Like people are very much like, oh, that's a knockoff, that's a bootleg or whatever. Whereas with Hot Toys, there's with 1/6, there's so many third party companies out there that it looks really good.
Because they'll just come out of the woodwork in some cases just to make a single figure. You'll see a company will almost just appear, release one figure, and then disappear again.
Yeah, which is fine by me.
Yeah.
What's this one?
So then we got this
Clone
Wars 4-pack. So this is the Escape Order 66 pack. So you get an Ahsoka Tano that we've kind of had previously, and then they've put it with 3 droids that were featured in the Clone Wars episode. You know, the one where Ahsoka and Maul basically escape.
Yep.
The clones. So we have had some of these droids before, which annoys me a little bit because like they're identical and they've just repacked them. But this pack is going to be $64.99.
Wow.
Yeah. And the annoying thing is they're all builder droids, so I kind of need them. But R7A7 is the red and green droid, which is Ahsoka's droid. We have had that figure before in the Droid Factory series. So it's not like it's a new mold or anything, and it is basically still the Droid Factory one because you can tell from like the way the arms fit into the droid, the pop off. So you can definitely tell it's an old figure just been repackaged. Cheap is the little chopper style droid with the dome head. He's new, so he's a new one to the line. I've never seen him before. But again, RGG1 is just a repaint of a Droid Factory figure. It was all in white last time with green lines, and now they've just done black and orange.
Oh well.
So the molds.
So the question is, do you want to? So the question is, do you want to pay £65 for one droid, Ash?
Mate, the thing is, I need all 3 droids because they're in different colors. So I will get them. As much as I'm moaning about it, I'm going to buy them all. I'm still going to buy it because you've seen the big pack of droids behind me, haven't you? The big thing of droids behind me. My box of droids. I've got every conceivable part going now.
I've got to throw this comment up from Fuzzy Dunlop. Great point. When somebody spends 150, it's classed as third party, but if you spend 25, then it's just a bootleg. It's true. It is true. I had this conversation with what?
I would say you don't see the word bootleg thrown around as much anymore. Like back in the day, you would call it a bootleg figure, whereas nowadays it's like because of the introduction of 3D printing, all these smaller companies coming up making figures. Yeah, they might not necessarily be licensed, but they're still really cool figures at the end of the day.
Nowadays, people just call them an AliExpress version.
Yeah.
Do you have the AliExpress version? I had this conversation with my son, like my eldest son, who's 11 going on 12. and I was showing him some of my so Thunder Toys is a company that I've got a few figures from, and one of them's the Venom figure, and I was like, oh, this is the Thunder Toys, and he was like, oh, so is it a hot toy? And I was like, no, it's by Thunder Toys, and he was like, oh, so it's a bootleg. I was like, no, it's not a bootleg, it's third party. He's like, yeah, but it's a bootleg. And I was trying to explain to him, I was like, no, it would be a bootleg if Hot Toys had produced this figure and then another company had come along and replicated that figure and put it out at a cheaper price. That would be a bootleg. Whereas this is a figure that only exists in production by this company, so it's therefore a third party. Whereas obviously with the 6-inch figures, there isn't like another company out there. Like, so Ramen Toys, for example, are producing 6-inch figures, but people don't call them bootleg figures because they're producing their own IP, their own version of stuff and characters that we don't have. Whereas like the AliExpress figures, like the Legends, the NECAs, the Figmas, like they are bootlegs because they're essentially somebody's got hold of the mold and they've printed them out for cheaper. So yeah, that's my little tangent on bootleg and third party.
Starkiller, the last time Black Series released Anakin was when they did the archive line. So we had the original Anakin, and then the only other time the re-released hit that, like, I'm guessing you mean the Revenge of the Sith version Anakin. He got the re-released as a part of the archive line. And that's the only 2 versions I'm aware of.
And we had the Clone Wars version recently.
Yeah, do people count that one? Because it looks awful.
Yeah.
I remember I took the head off of my old Anakin to put on the Clone Wars body to make it look more cinematic. Because they really did go for that comic book, like that, like cartoon look with them ones. They're a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Yes, we need one. Yeah.
I think we'll probably get one this year with it being an anniversary year.
I want them to release one with the proper cloak and the yellow eyes and the proper dark side Anakin is what we need now.
Yeah. Fuzzy Dunlop said, I've heard foreign custom being used once or twice. Oh, it is what it is. But while we are on the subject of new toy companies and things being produced, I think that's a good little segue for us to do a little plug, don't you?
Yeah. What was that?
That was actually just boxes. It's fine. I'm actually in the process of move. Like, if you could see this, you can kind of see a box here. Like there's a box there. I'm at the process of moving some stuff around, and I've got boxes piled way too high, and the top one just went off. Yeah. Bethany Beth just said bye because I think she knows we're going to talk about Pocket Goblins. But we are going to talk about Pocket Goblins. But the only reason we're going to talk about them is because we actually have a prototype in hand, don't we?
Yeah.
Here he is. Here is Bruce, the first of our prototypes. He's a little bit scratched up because I did kind of just have a little polish on him, but he is very cool. He's right in scale, as we promised, with Monster in My Pocket. So here is a Monster in My Pocket next to our Pocket Goblins. Yeah. Perfectly in scale. We do have a couple of pictures as well. We'll get them up in a minute. But we are in the kind of final 29 days or something like that of the project. So just picking these up. So we do need people to jump on board. If you are going to support, we need you to jump on board because we will only be able to go into production fully if we fully fund our Kickstarter. But it is cool. It's cool to kind of have one in hand, and they're solid little things. What did you make of the prototype, Sorrell? What did you think of the pictures?
I'm looking forward to get one in hand now because I mean it's cool to see it go from idea to like physical representation. Yeah, and I'm really excited to get these like made now.
I am literally the only person in possession of a Pocket Goblin right now. This is the only one in existence right now because we have this little prototype made up. But he's really cool. He is really cool. Let's throw that image up. Let's put that image up of the
give me one.
Comparison just so we can see him properly. But this is literally the only one in. Oh, he's actually gone. He's just dropped out. He'll be back. But yeah, this is literally the only one in production right now, and they're just so cool. He's so detailed. As I said, he's a little bit scuffed up because I did drop him, but I literally just gave him a quick spray paint of red so that we could see him in his red color, because obviously this one does come in red. And as you can see as well, for anyone in the chat, we did say about his forearms being a little bit more Popeye-like. So the designer did actually make him a little bit more Popeye-like. But he is really cool. And obviously the project is still live. When Sorrell is back, he will add some links. Where is he actually gone? But yeah, we did do some little, I've got all three actually here from, and here he is. What happened there?
No idea. I think I literally went to share the thing, and I think I hit log out.
Oh, fair enough.
Then I tried logging back in. It was like, your camera's already in use on this thing. I'm like, friggin' isn't. Nah.
No.
Anyway, here we go. Picture. Da-da-da.
What we got? There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
So you can see him there next to, obviously, muscle figures, monster in my pocket, and then of course pocket goblins as well. And as I said, I mean, I really like the fact that his forearms are bigger, the way that we said, because one thing that was really really not unique, that's the wrong word, but really familiar with Monster in My Pocket and Muscle is that even though they were small figures, each one had their own personal kind of personality, didn't they? They all had something very unique about them. And that's what we've gone for with Pocket Goblins as well. So Brute's obviously being more of a bit of a bruiser. We've over exaggerated his forearms, so he's definitely kind of been working on his forearms a little bit more than the rest of his body. But they're cool. They are cool. I really like them. Yeah, I really like them. I've just dropped him though, and I don't know where I dropped him. Well, I've lost him. I've lost the only goblin in production right now, and he's gone. He's gone. He has disappeared into the void that is my room. He's scurried underneath something somewhere. So right, you talk, sir. I'm going to try to find him.
Well, yeah, guys. Basically, if you wanna get in on this, please check out the Kickstarter. It would really help us out. We really want to get these in production, because who doesn't want to put a pocket goblin in their pocket? You know what I mean? Put a goblin in your pocket. You found him yet?
Gone. Nope, he's gone. I'll find him on the stream. I'll find him.
Gone forever.
But they're cool. They're out there. The Kickstarter is obviously live. Do go and support it. We've got I think we're on with Nerdzoic on Tuesday, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we're going out on Nerdzoic's channel on Tuesday to do a little bit of a plug with them.
Jason, good job you mentioned that again.
I know, I only just remembered.
I completely forgot.
I'm just going to give a quick shout out to my friend over at GLP 3D, because look what he made for us.
Ooh,
look at these!
That's
look,
nice.
We've got little signs which are really cool.
Pocket goblins.
So yeah, so I'll bring yours up when I see you next month. But yeah, there we go. We got much else to talk about this week?
No, that was kind of it. I'm afraid it was quite a quiet week, other than the fact that we got the X-Men trailer was kind of like the big thing of the week. We talked about Deadpool obviously prior on another stream. So yeah, those were kind of the big two announcements, weren't there, over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah. It's been a weird one this week. Felt like there was lots going on, but I think it's because there were some really big conversational pieces going on.
Yeah, this week I know that I've got my because obviously we finally got the Sam Diamond Select from Lord of the Rings. So I've currently got Frodo, Sam, and Gollum in my backpack, ready for some photographs tomorrow at Pontefract Castle. I'm going to go and take some photos. Yeah, do some I've not been out and done photography with my figures for ages, so I thought the castle's a perfect setting, very Mordor looking. So gonna go take some photos.
I haven't got my Sam and my what's his name yet.
Have you not?
No. They're in the post. They're in the post. They're in the post.
But yeah, the Sam figure's cool, because I had to go back and get Frodo, because there was no way that I couldn't not have Frodo and so they were with Sam. So then I realized the other day, I was like, I've got Gollum as well. I need to do some Mordor photos.
Yeah, Gollum's a really cool figure.
He's so
a really cool figure. Yeah. Really, really cool figure. Cool.
So all I can say is that if anyone follows me, please be prepared for a ridiculous amount of TikToks of me doing Gollum's voice over the next week.
That's awesome.
Calling him a stupid.
I'm just imagining the family on a day trip to the castle now, just seeing you with your camera and your Gollum figure looking over your shoulder. But
family and kids all bored, standing there waiting. Hang on, I've just got to get the shot. I've got to get the shot.
It's all right. I always take figures on holiday with me. My family hate it and love it. And I'm like, right, we're on the beach today. Right, I'm just going to go off for a couple of hours. I'll be back. And I'll be like climbing off to some really random rock pool that you can't access. Plop a little figure in it. And that'll be me done. I'll be well happy. Every time, every year. But I'm kind of getting a bit bored now of taking Namor out with me because he's the obvious one to use on a beach. So I'm like, I need to kind of expand out a little bit now. But no, maybe like Ninja Turtles or something this year. I don't know. We'll see. Or He-Man. Oh, He-Man.
Mate, you got Jurassic Park figures now. You need to find some jungle kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Take your Muldoon and your Raptor and recreate the. You know what I mean?
A bit of a June on the June off the beach. Yeah.
You need to recreate the clever girl.
Nice. I think we're going Wales a little bit later in the year. There's some good beaches in like North Wales. Right. Either way, Paul, thank you so much for joining us. Again, for everyone in the chat who's still watching, where can they find you? What kind of stuff can they expect from your channels and stuff?
So I'm primarily on Insta, so UK Pop Collector on Insta, and it's just literally everything that's pop culture. So everything from pops to NECA to Mezco to Hot Toys, 1/6 scale figures, anything and everything that kind of takes my fancy. Everything on Insta.
Amazing. Good stuff. We'll obviously plug a channel where we can. For everyone else, all the regular kind of links are in the description of the video. If you are watching us on repeat, Sorrel,
use the hashtag #CatchUpCrew.
That's it. Hashtag #CatchUpCrew if you are watching it. And I'm surprised how many people do put it in as well. Like, it's nice. It's nice. So if you are watching it on repeat, make sure you put it in there because we do see them. We do respond to them. And it's nice to just sort of see who's watching us on repeat as well. Do go and check out the Pocket Goblins Kickstarter. And please do, if you are considering backing it, back it. It's very much appreciated. It'll be really exciting to be able to get this project off the ground. But obviously, if we can't, we can't. But it'll be really exciting to get it off the ground just because seeing a lot of the production shots and a lot of the designs and everything kind of coming together now, it's all very realistic and all very real. And it'd be a shame for that not to kind of come to fruition.
Yeah.
Fruition.
Sorry, I've just noticed and I've just been laughing because of the fact that my hair was gelled at the beginning of this stream, and slowly but surely it's got more and more wild as the night's gone on.
That's how you were going off. We're just going off and ruffling it. So, cool. No, Paul, thanks very much for joining.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Do appreciate it. Again, everyone in the chat, we do appreciate you coming in, stopping by. For those of you that have commented along, thank you very much. Much appreciated. If we didn't get to your comment, we do apologize. And who have we got next Sunday?
Next week we have Kibbs from the Brothers Geek Out podcast.
Okay, so I'm going to double check with him because I know it was a bit hit and miss whether we could make that date. So I will check in with him and hopefully we'll have him for next week. If not, we have got a potential backup guest in the wings ready.
Yeah, we might be having a Geek Week Plus in the next week or so with Shadowmas Prime.
Okay, cool.
I've been chatting with Shart on Instagram, and we finally found some times that will work because obviously he's in California, I believe. He's on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So it's awkward as hell with the time difference, but it might be a weekendy jobber because obviously he'll be at home in the middle of the day. So we're working on it. It should be the next weekend, hopefully.
It will happen. It will happen. Wicked. Thanks very much, everyone. Yeah, I'm going to play you out on a little bit of an advert because, you know, why not? But thanks very much for watching. Till next week. Keep it geek.
Yesteryear, a time where small, exciting, collectible and tradable action figures were the currency of the playground and lined children's pockets everywhere. But what happened to those toys? It makes you wonder, just how great would it be to have a line of toys like those again?
Poke Goblins. Put a goblin in your pocket. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and of course subscribe. Tune in next week for another live show. Until then, keep it geek. Stay up to date at www.geekweekinreview.co.uk.